Hi everyone, it's your friend Jennifer, welcoming you to a new episode of Jennifer's Tale, My Life as a Crossdresser. If you're new to my podcast, if you're new to watching me on YouTube, welcome. I'm Jennifer, of course. I am a crossdresser. I've been dressing up as Jennifer for quite some time. I'd rather not say how many years, but it's been quite a while. I started my podcast as a way to reach out to other girls out there, other crossdressers, trans individuals, people who may be, not sure of where they fall into that spectrum between crossdresser and trans. But I wanted to reach out and help build, foster, strengthen our community by coming up with this podcast. In this podcast, I share tips, tricks, my life experiences, my thoughts, hopes, dreams, desires, insecurities, all sorts of stuff about myself. My life is an open book, and I'm willing to share it with you in hopes that you might learn some stuff, you may realize you're not alone, and above all, that you feel that you don't have to be scared about who you are. If you are a crossdresser, right now, this time of the time we live in right now, it's pretty good for being a crossdresser. People are more accepted now more than ever for the most part. It's definitely different than it was when I first started dressing and trying to get out as Jennifer. Don't be scared. You're not alone. Don't be afraid to go out. There's plenty of people who support you, myself included. And if you're on the internet, there's a whole army of girls out there who have your back. So I hope you enjoy this episode. If you, please do me a favor, right below my picture here, please subscribe to this channel. Please check out previous episodes. There's all sorts of other episodes. I cover all sorts of topics. Please be sure and check them out. If you're listening to this as an audio podcast on your favorite podcast provider, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you find Jennifer's Tale or found this episode, all those things I just talked about apply to you as well. Please subscribe to the podcast. Please like it. Please tell other girls about it. Check out previous episodes. The more people that watch and listen to this podcast, the bigger our community grows, the more people find out about this podcast, and the more we are not alone. We are a strong force. We are proud of who we are, and let's get into this episode. This episode is entitled Authenticity, and it covers authenticity or being authentic. As a crossdresser, it almost sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? Being a guy who dresses up as a woman and being authentic, you'd be more surprised than you would think about how authenticity plays into presenting yourself as a woman. Now, granted, you are not a biological woman, you're not biologically female, you're not being authentic on that part, but there's plenty of other areas and ways that you can be authentic, and I thought I'd talk about some of them. Now, ever since I started this podcast and started making episodes and talking about who I am and my life and experiences and my thoughts and feelings and stuff, I have had numerous women out there, numerous girls out there commend me on how authentic I am, how when I talk about my feelings and my thoughts and stuff and my experience that I've gone through, that I'm just not making things up. I am talking from the heart when I talk about my feelings about, trying to figure out my sexuality. I am somebody who is speaking the truth. I'm telling you how I feel about myself. I'm not just making things up, trying to hide things. And when you are authentic like that, other people can sense that. They can tell. And for me, it's been a great way to build trust and a good rapport with the cross-dressing community. I've made a lot of friends and talked to a lot of listeners and viewers of the podcast who are now friends of mine because they are surprised of how candid I am, how authentic I am, and how truthful I am talking about myself, and just how open I am. And that's who I wanted to be going into this podcast, to be my authentic self and let you know that I am just as fallible as anybody else. I have made mistakes. I have regrets. I have things that I wish I would have done differently. Things I do now that I'm not exactly super proud of. But Jennifer is a work in progress. She always has been and probably always will be. So that side of my authenticity is something I'm proud of, and I want to thank all of you out there who talk to me about being my authentic self. Now, another form of authenticity is being authentic in social media. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see that just recently I started playing around with an AI app because plenty of girls have been doing it. And I thought, why not? That might be a little fun. You can take a photo of yourself and make yourself twirl around and magically transform into Wonder Woman. You can spin yourself. You can make yourself look better. You can have a handsome guy come up and give you a kiss. All sorts of different things. And there's plenty of girls out there who are doing that. I try to make a point of, whenever I post those kind of pictures, identifying the fact, or videos, I guess, I make a point of identifying the fact that, yes, this is an AI generated video. This is not actually me, although the photo is me, but I want people to know that that isn't exactly who I am. When I post pictures online, every picture that I post is my authentic self. What you see is what you get. There's times when I might post a picture that it doesn't put me in the best light, but we're not all going to look perfect 100% of the time. And when we take selfies or get our picture taken and stuff, we're not going to look as good as we hope we are every single picture. Authenticity on the internet also kind of comes into play with, there's plenty of girls out there who may steal pictures from other girls, or may put up a randomly generated picture, or steal a picture of a model or something to represent themselves on Facebook or whatever, because there's all sorts of different reasons why they might not think they look that great when they dress up and do their makeup and put on a wig and stuff. Maybe they're not happy with their look. They never will be. And so in order to have themselves on there, they have to come up with some sort of picture. Maybe there's somebody who just doesn't have the opportunity to dress up as their feminine selves, and so they have to come up with something to put on there. Maybe they have a spouse who is dead set against their cross-dressing. Maybe they have a spouse who doesn't know about their cross-dressing, and so they don't have a chance to dress. Or maybe they do get to dress and they just use a AI app to make their picture look a little better. I know some girls that do that. My personal opinion, this is just me talking, I think that if you do something like that, you should identify your picture, put a label on it, whether you're using Face app or just put AI in the corner or something like that, or if you're using somebody else's photo, I put a little line on the picture somewhere saying this is not actually you. I think we should be as authentic and as honest as we can about who we are and what we are. And I'm somebody that doesn't pass judgment on girls like that. If you're a girl out there who doesn't get to dress entirely, and can only, sometimes wear pantyhose and a skirt, post a picture of your legs in a skirt. I talk to plenty of girls that just have pictures like that. And in talking to them, you find out, they'll be perfectly honest and say, I just like wearing pantyhose and skirts and heels. There's nothing wrong with that. Cross-dressing runs the gambit from just having kind of a women's female item or clothing that you enjoy, and that's what you wear, to dressing entirely like I do. Authenticity to me is important, especially in this day and age when there's so much AI going on, and so so many people stealing other people's pictures or creating false biographies on Facebook or false pages, that kind of thing. I wish there was more authenticity between people, especially like on Facebook and stuff. So I'm encouraging you, if you're somebody who might not be able to dress entirely, might not be able to present yourself looking as feminine as you want, or are using the AI app to take your male picture and turn it into a feminine picture, post something or put a comment on there or a little mark or something to let us know. We're not going to hold it against you. We want you to enjoy your femininity as much as you possibly can. And we appreciate the honesty. We appreciate your authenticity. If you have any comments about this, I'd love to hear them. Maybe you're a girl who doesn't get the chance to dress up, or doesn't think you look good in makeup and, totally dressed up like me. I'm not saying that I look perfect by any means, but I would love to hear your side of things, your thoughts on this matter. Authenticity is something that it runs kind of as big a spectrum as cross-dressing does. So there's plenty of ways you can leave me comments. You can leave a comment on this video on YouTube. You can leave a comment on the audio podcast. You can go to Facebook. That's where I am primarily when it comes to social media. Go to my Facebook page for this podcast, which is Jennifer's Tale, My Life as a Crossdresser. You can also check me out, friend me on Facebook under Jennifer Hangartner. That's my name. Hangartner. And last but not least, you can always send me email. Send an email to Jennifer's Tale Podcast, all one word, at gmail.com. I answer every email I get, so don't be afraid to send one. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Until next time, this is Jennifer saying hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.